Thanks for tuning in to the TCDSB Assistive Technology Team's video series on Google Slides for secondary students. In this video, we're going to explore text. I'm going to show you how to add text to your slides, how to change the text in your slides, and all the different formatting features. First thing, we always want to make sure that we're logged into our TCDSB Google Chrome account, and I know I've done this correctly because I can see my student icon in the Chrome browser as well as on the main page. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how to add text to your slides. It is very straightforward to do, and you can notice that there are instructions on each of the slides in each of the layouts. So this first slide is my title slide. So to add a title, I can just click my mouse inside of this box, so you can see this box outlined, and I can add a title. So you'll notice that I do have sea turtles in this Google Slides presentation, so I'm going to give it a simple title of Sea Turtles. Next, you'll see a subtitle, and usually this is where you would put your name or your course or the date. It really depends on what your teacher wants and if there's any specifications or outlines that your teacher wants you to follow. Typically, this is where you would put your name because you will be presenting this slide. So I'm going to put the Assistive Technology Team's name down here because this is who's giving this presentation, and we can go from there. So you'll also notice that there are different layouts and there's different areas for you to add your text. So in each of these slides, we can add text by simply just clicking on the text box and adding it in there. I'm now going to show you how to insert a new text box to your Google Slides. There's a couple ways to do that, so I will show you both. From the insert menu at the very top, my second option is text box. So I can insert a text box, and when I do that, my mouse is going to change into a T. That T tells me where the top left corner of my new text box will appear on my slide. So perhaps I want to include my class and my teacher's name here. So you can see that as soon as I clicked, that's where the top left corner of my text box appeared. So this is for my science class, and it's for Mrs. Smith, and that's where I'm going to put that. So the other thing that you can do with text boxes, like you could do with images, is you can resize the text box. So you can resize it to a little bit smaller so it's easier to manipulate. You can also click and drag the text box around that way. So you can click and drag and you can place it to where you like. Now I'm going to show you the second way that you can insert a text box. So we're going back up to our handy toolbar up here, and you'll notice the text box symbol is here. If you hover your mouse, as always, along the toolbar, it will tell you what it does. So here you can see that it's telling you that this inserts a text box. Again, when I click, my mouse will change to that T, and I'm going to place my text box right here. And now I'm going to insert the date. October 29th, 2020. So you'll notice that this text box is hanging off of my slide. I always like to resize so that everything is on my slide, and it's much easier to move around that way. So to resize, you just select a side or a corner, and you can place it where you like. So now you can see that I now have my title, who's giving the presentation, my class, my teacher's name, and the date. Now let's talk about formatting. You may or may not like the standard Arial font that Google Slides gives you, but we can customize it based on our own preference or the look and feel of the presentation. A few things to keep in mind is we always want the font to be legible. So that means that you want to make sure that your audience can read it clearly. And you also want to make it large enough that it is legible as well. So to format, there's a couple ways to do that. You can go to the format menu and we can format the text this way. So you can see I can make this bold, italicized, I can underline it, I can strike through, I can create a superscript. So this might be handy for adding exponents subscript as well. I can change the size, so I can increase the font size. I can change the color. I can highlight my text, and I can also capitalize everything. So I can make everything lowercase, everything uppercase, or I can use the title case, meaning that it will make the first letter of each word uppercase and the rest lowercase. So you can see from this menu, there's a lot of different options. So if we were to, for example, increase the size of this font, you'll see the Sea Turtles font had increased one size. Another way that you can format text is also from the toolbar, which I find is a little bit more useful because you can see what's happening a little bit more clearly because it doesn't get blocked by the menu. So I can also change my font. So if I wanted to use, say, impact, I can see that this font is a little bit more bold, and I really like the look of that. I can also make it a little bit bigger by clicking on the plus size sign beside my font size, or I can click and drag and pick a different font size. All those options about bolding and italicizing are all here. My text color, if I click, I can change the color of my text. So perhaps I want this to be blue. I can also highlight. Again, I can choose the highlighting feature. So if I wanted it highlighted, I don't particularly like the look of that, so I'm just going to not highlight. And I can also change the alignment. So this means that I can change where that text appears. So I can put it to the left, I can center it, I can put it to the right. I can also justify it. So that means that all the text lines up evenly along a line along each side. So in this case, because it's a title, I like it in the center. I can also do the vertical alignment. So I can put the title to the top or center it in my text box or even to the bottom. So you can see that there are so many things you can do with your text boxes in your Google Slides presentation. I hope you've learned a few new tips and tricks. Be sure to tune in to the other videos in this video series. Thanks for watching.